Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, John. Welcome to SFTB. Silence from the back room. What's going on, gentlemen?
Good morning, Carmelina. Good morning. Feedback. Do you have any more
I don't even
feedback?
know what to say to that beginning. That was awesome.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Carmelina. What is
Good
going on? Thank
morning.
you for having us today, Carmelina.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. There
Car-
wouldn't be a show without.
Carm has hijacked the podcast.
Sabotage.
Oh my god. We are
What do we have going on, gentlemen? We have a quiz. We have to talk about our show that we did yesterday. Motivation. What else do we have?
I think that's a good plan. Yeah, I think that's a really good plan. That's a lot to cover. That hour goes by really quick.
it will.
Mhm.
It will.
That hour goes by really quick.
It will. It will. We so Carm, I'll ask you the first question. How was the show for you yesterday?
The show was very intriguing. Lots of information. Lots of heads like looking like wow, like they know their stuff and they like still learn something. I seen
Awesome.
everybody, they were interacting and it was just out of control.
It was out of control.
Troll it
What
was.
a crowd, what a crowd. I love good old Rodney.
Eddie, how'd it go for you yesterday, buddy?
I don't. I'm still. I have no idea. Yesterday came and went.
Yes.
I was sitting at the dinner table last night. I'm going like this. I'm going, did I say anything? I cannot recall. John, can you recall one sentence that you said yesterday during the entire presentation? I cannot recall one thing I said. The whole thing was such a blur.
It was warp speed yesterday. First off, the only thing that sticks out in my mind was when you dropped a couple of f bombs in one sentence, and I thought this one lady was going to scream at you.
Oh,
I don't even remember. The only thing I remember is that at one point in the second half of the day, I just stopped and said thank you to the audience because they were
Yeah.
such an amazing audience.
Yeah,
It was full speed from the start all the way to the end. It was go, go, go nonstop.
yeah.
And
we
Indeed.
I mean, this audience was amazing. Was
they were
absolutely
there.
fantastic.
Yeah.
In all the years that we've been doing this, and we've had, look, 3 classes in a row. We've had great crowd. We've had a great
Right.
attendance, great stylists. There was just something about the energy in the room yesterday, and not that the other two weren't fantastic. Don't if you were
Right,
there,
right.
guys.
No,
If
no.
you were there, guys, we had a great time. The other 2 times too. Yesterday was
Mhm.
just I can't even put it into words yet because I really haven't processed it.
No.
But the amount of sharing of ideas
Yeah.
and that we got to facilitate that was huge. And everybody was in from the minute we kicked off at 9 o'clock yesterday morning to
Right.
when we stopped at 4 o'clock. And there were still people hanging around afterwards that wanted to pick our brains even more.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
what I tell you what, all 3 of these CEU 7 CEU hour classes were awesome, and the cool people, and we got our people that come to our stuff, which we love them. We love each and every one of you guys. But we made a lot of new friends too.
Yeah.
Uh, at the past 3 classes, and it really blows my mind as I sometimes when I stand there and I looked out at the crowd, and I just went, "What a cool freaking business we're in!"
It's so
Where
wild.
it was so cool to know that everybody that walked through that door put put their egos in their back pocket and we all just shared information. And it wasn't, oh, that's wrong. It was, oh, I've never thought about it that way, which was just which completely blew me away each and every time. But like I said yesterday, the energy was infectious. Actually, all three days, the energy was infectious. But there was something about yesterday. I don't know if it's because it was the last one or of the year or what. I don't know. But what a great time! Great time. I was freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
It was too much laughing. I think everybody had too much fun. It was too much
Yeah.
laughing.
We were dying, and that
Too
was the
much
other thing.
laughing. Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of humor that went on. I think we're very fortunate to have the response that we had to these classes. We're very fortunate, and I'll speak for myself, and I think I'm going to speak for Eddie too. We are very fortunate that we have the team that backs us up. Carm, you being one of them, Dom. Um, I even drafted my kids to come help us set up Sunday. We're so fortunate to have you, and my wife Erin. We are so fortunate to have you guys to back us up to be able for us to do what the crazy and the creative things that we do. Because without you guys taking on the other burdens, that leaves us, the opportunity to do the things that we do. And thank you, Carm. I mean that. Dom, thank you. Aaron, if you're watching.
There's so much that is involved behind the scenes with trying to organize these kind of events. These are not easy. Any event isn't easy to organize. When you have the average event, to put it in perspective, the average event is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. This one was a 7-hour event. Now, we've had days where we've had double headers. We've done 2 events in one day.
Right.
But it's still the same 2 to 4 hour event. We're just doing it 2 times in a row.
Right.
It is very different than doing a straight 7-hour program. The amount, it's not even double. I think it's quadruple the amount of workload for preparation, for the planning, for the getting the logistics involved. I don't know the good way how to describe it. It is an undertaking in of itself. It is not that the other events are any easier to put together, but this one in particular is rough, is really rough. And the way we do this 7-hour event is very different. We don't hone in on 1 or 2 topics and then just I don't want to say drag it out. We don't focus on 1 or 2 topics solely and deep dive into that. We are speed running. What did we go through? About a dozen topics yesterday?
Well, 11 topics yesterday.
11 topics. It's not, we have more content to cover than we have time. And generally speaking, it's the other way around. Generally speaking is we have this much time. What are we going to fill it with? And then it's how much more content do we need to add to fill the time? How much more deep dive should we do in this aspect versus that aspect? Are we at time yet? This one is the reverse. When we're putting this together, we're going, all right, we can only talk about this for this long, but we have also these other 5 things to talk about. They're going to have to 5 topics enter, 1 topics leave. It's the Thunderdome of topics.
So before we get into all of that, we got a quiz. Do we not have a quiz?
Yeah, do we have one?
All right, boss lady. We got a quiz for you. As soon as I find it. All right, here you go. I'm going to give you these multiple choice questions.
Sure.
And we're going to see what you come up with.
Sure.
So when you're creating a custom toner for the blonde hair and the porosity is uneven, what's the best approach? Is it to put the toner on when the hair is dry? Is it to try to balance out the hair? Is it to try to use another very strong developer? Or should you just keep bleaching it until the hair gets blonde enough?
I would go with trying to balance it out.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
Well, I don't think you want to do anything in dry hair or like bleach it out because then it's gonna dry and probably look disgusting. So it's better to try to balance it out a little. That's what I got.
John?
I agree. I agree with Carm. Balance it out first. You got to balance out the porosity of the hair before you put your toner on.
No disgusting hair, people.
No disgusting hair.
Keep hair.
Here's your next question.
Oh.
If a client has previously highlighted hair or lighter hair color, and now they want to go darker, what should you do first? Should you just put the formula right on top of it? Should you try to bleach out some of the old color first before you put the color over it? Should you try to fill the hair a little bit, or should you just do a root touch up and figure out what to do with the rest of the ends?
I'm gonna go with try to like fill it in a little bit.
Okay. Any particular reason why you think that way?
Well, what if you put the color over just because the hair is light, then like some parts could be one color, it could be a hot mess. So that's why I think try to fill it a little until you get to the color that you want.
Okay. Interesting answer, John.
We're talking about
is it an interesting answer, or is it a correct answer?
Well, Carm is it's definitely, she knows what she's talking about. But my question is, are we going lighter or darker?
From lighter going darker.
Darker. Yeah, so Carm is right. You've got to put filler in because you have to put pigment in that pre-lightened hair to attach pigment too. So Carm is correct.
Yeah. I listen and watch Goodly.
Okay.
I make up my own words, you know.
I got you. This is the heart and soul of the team right here.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty is just taking over.
It's a Hello Kitty is taking over here. This is insane. This one's going to be a little bit tricky for you. We're going to be talking about haircuts.
Sure.
And we're going to talk about haircut angles, okay? So if I take the hair and I pull it straight up off the top of the head, and then I cut it, and now this hair is going to fall down, is it going to give me a strong, heavy weight line? Is it going to give me nice uniform layers, or is it going to be like heavy in the crown area and then lighter on the bottom?
So they're going straight up like a mohawk?
Straight up like a mohawk, cutting it even, and now that hair is going to fall down.
I guess I'm going to go with it's going to give you some kind of layers.
Help her out, John.
She's right. It is. That's a form of layering. She's right. She pays attention. She's been paying attention, but it's more of an increase layer. Your layers are going to increase in length, and it will give you some weight at the bottom. So yes, you're right, Carm. There we go. We need to send Carm to beauty school.
I mean, here's the disclaimer. Yeah, Carmelina is not a hairdresser.
She's just been around the salon and I'm
the bestest assistant ever.
You really are the bestest assistant.
And I'm staying on that side. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. I guess we were told.
That's right. You know, know
Jump,
thy place.
jump.
When it comes to point cutting, so when we're gonna do point cutting on the ends, okay,
Okay.
does that add bluntness to the weight line? Does that soften the edges? Does it help remove length or bulk faster?
Hmm. Hmm. I want to say soften the edges.
Soften the edges? Why do you think so?
Or because then it won't be so blunt. It just makes the movement for your hair. I don't have a good idea.
Why are you involved in this quiz today, John?
I don't need to say nothing, man. I don't need to
I
say
tell you what,
anything today,
she's got
other
this,
than
huh?
other than letting my dogs outside. That's all I'm doing right now.
Telling you.
She's right. It softens the edges. It removes weight from the end. She's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about blow drying.
Sure.
And we're going to talk about brushes, blow drying brushes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to be a little bit of a tricky one.
Mm.
What kind of brush is the best one for getting like coarse and frizzy hair nice and smooth when you're doing a blow dry? Should you use a teasing brush? Should you use a vent brush? Should you use a round brush or a paddle brush?
I say round brush.
Round brush? Why you think so?
Just smooth it and get it to the cuticle, and it won't be frizzy. It'll be like it'll have some sheen in it.
Have some sheen in it.
Yeah.
Which one, Charlie or Emilio Estevez?
Emilio, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sounds funny to say.
It
Don't you have Charlie all
she's
around you?
she's right. A round brush is what I would use. Definitely a round brush. Plus, you can get good tension on that hair. And then if you take that one step further, and it's a shameless plug coming right now, is you can absolutely use the Therapy square round brushes, so you can really get some tension on that hair with those corners on the squares. She's right.
Oh,
Carm's right. Eddie, Carm's a better hairdresser than you are.
Than both of us put together right now, let me tell you.
Oh God! Look, I never said I was a hairdresser, so that's okay.
yeah.
This next question is going to be a curveball. She won't know anything about this one.
Oh God.
When diffusing curly hair,
Oh yeah.
what's the best technique to encourage the curls stay nice and defined?
Okay, there's no multiple choice. You need to use a diffuser.
Okay, so what do you got to do with the diffuser?
Well, by the time you put all the cocktails in your hair, then you put in your leave-in and your smoothing cream for your frizz and your mousse. Then you get your diffuser and you start diffusing your hair so your curls could stay nice and divine and and fluffy. And if you put your head upside down, it makes it even more volume and it looks more incredible.
How long should you dry it for? Should you dry it all the way, or do you dry it halfway, 80%? What do you do?
Not all the way. I guess 80%.
Okay. I mean, John, that was a wild guess she took. She don't know nothing about curly hair.
Yeah.
Not, how do I? Well, I don't even need to add anything to that. I don't even know why I'm here. I could leave. Carm.
Don't leave us. Don't leave. Fasha.
Today's the day.
This is what you get when you give me coffee.
So Carm got every question right, Eddie.
Yeah. Get a milkshake. You're fine.
I think you should take her. I think you should take her to 7-Eleven and get her another Minions cup.
Yeah.
Okay. So segueing right, because I can't. Um, segueing right into our day yesterday. Just to recap, just to give everybody a recap of 7 CEU hours that we gave yesterday and the 7 hours of craziness. I think I just want to, we'll start at the beginning and we'll just go to the end. So we started our day off with Xenogen.
Mm-hmm.
And we focused on some of the great products of Xenogen, Eddie. What was your feedback that you got from them from our attendees about the products that we showed them from Xenogen, especially the Reparical and the serum?
I think it's fascinating because in particular, the Reparical spray is a leave-in spray that will help detangle the hair, but also reinforce and restructure the hair as well. And unlike other leave-in sprays, leave-in conditioning sprays, the Reparical spray from Xenogen really focuses on the internal structure and health of the hair. Obviously, it'll help on the outside as well too, but not just being topical. The Reparical will also penetrate a little bit and focus on internal core strength and repair. And that is something that makes it very, very unique. And it's something that we are very adamant about. Us, it's designed for thin, fine, soft hair, but especially when it comes to hair extensions, I don't know if that was just a happy discovery that was made. I don't know if that was intentional. I can't say for sure for certain, but it's amazing. In addition to thin, fine, soft hair, any kind of hair extension out there, the Reparical spray is absolutely phenomenal. Now, when you get to the serum, one of the things we were discussing, which it was hilarious. We were talking about the growth phase, the resting phase, and the shedding phase in the hair. We were going through the 3 phases.
What are the technical terms for that, Eddie?
I am so brain fried. The
Catagen, anagen, intelligent.
Yeah.
There you go.
So when we were talking about the 3 phases, and we're going through it with everybody, and then we're talking about you should be washing your hair every 48 hours for optimal scalp health and care. And so it really got turned into a very nice discussion, a very nice open discussion with the entire audience about the differences of, well, if you wash your hair every day, what happens? If you don't wash your hair every 48 hours, what happens? If you're only doing once a week, what happens? And being able to introduce the serum where it could supplement daily washing for somebody, or excuse me, daily use for somebody. The serum can be used every single day, regardless if you wash your hair every other day or not, regardless of whatever frequency you're washing your hair with. Using the serum will help. It has very beneficial effects, and it will help any maintenance schedule that anybody has. And being able to watch everybody kind of take in that information and then be able to regurgitate it and discover, customize it to their individual needs for their individual clients that they had in mind, it was very wild. It was very, very wild. The other thing that blew my mind about the serum was that I always talk about this. A serum will only absorb so much into the skin or into the hair or into the scalp. The rest of it will evaporate. Serums are very lightweight. Oil is supposed to build up and get heavy. And what's some fun facts, especially the madam that was in that 3rd row, and she was talking about how much moisture the hair can hold, and she was giving her little tidbits about pre-putting conditioner in the hair before the shampooing process to protect the moisture levels throughout the lengths of the ends. from the suds running down during the rinse. I mean, that was such a
That was interesting.
right. Like she had a really nice, interesting take on how to approach alleviating additional cleansing or over cleansing, over drying the ends. And that just opened up the invitation for everybody else to pitch in their 2 cents on what their ideas are and what they're doing as well too. That was my takeaway from the Xenogen segment. It was a very science heavy informational segment. Everybody was able to keep up with it. Nobody let themselves fall behind.
Mhm.
As soon as somebody didn't understand or was started lagging behind the conversation, immediately raising their hands up, asking question, throwing in a comment, or giving a suggestion or a scenario, a what if scenario, just to confirm that they were following along with the information. That was my takeaway from it. So then I'd ask you, Carmelina, what you were. See, John
On
and
the
I were in
outside.
it. You were on the outside observing in.
Right. So when I was on the outside observing in, because you guys had the doors open, I can see questions and you walking around, and there was a lot of people like interacting. So throughout the whole Xenogen, it was, everybody asking questions. They didn't hold back, like you said. So yeah, it was packed with good information and live interactions. Hmm.
My takeaway from Xenogen was it made me realize that we are not the only ones that are really helping our clients focus on their scalp. There are other stylists out there that I mean, most of the room, there was the same thing where, healthy hair starts at the scalp, and really you got to create that fertile ground to grow plants. I use that analogy with them, and I saw a bunch of light bulbs go off. But really, and so many other people going, yeah, no, I tell my client, which is almost the same thing that we're saying. They're just using different verbiage, which I just thought was great, which was really, really cool. Xenogen is always a hit when we present it, because everybody's interested in the science end of things, whether they know it or not, which is funny, because
Yeah.
when you come out, and Eddie has this term, okay, and he says science is fun, but science is dumb, because
Yep.
science only knows what it's supposed to do, not what you think it's supposed to do. I'm not doing that correctly, but anyway.
It doesn't know what you want it to do. It only
Mhm.
knows what you tell it to do.
Tell it to do. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you see a lot of people when you hit them with that, their arms all of a sudden fold, and they're like, and then you see it, and you see people go, yeah, and it works. It works real well. Yeah, the Xenogen presentation was a fantastic presentation. Now let's just go right to our next subject, which was all nutrient.
Well, I want
And
to
we
piggyback on that real quick.
okay.
The reason why the reason why I came up with that saying is because it's fun for me, especially. It's fun when you and I are calling people out and we're like, all right, you do this to your client, right? And you do this to your client because you want this to happen. And they're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, well, then this is happening to your client. They're like, yeah, I wonder why that is. I go, because that's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's what you told the product to do. So you are right. You did exactly what you did, and it worked, but not for the way you wanted it to work. They're like, wait, they're like, all of a sudden they go from this to, huh? And then
Yeah.
it's like, you got to do this. This is what it's trying to do. And they're like, they go from this to, and then like, so if you do it this way, da 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 da, then they go from to, hey, wait a minute, question. I got an idea, So
Yeah, I thought it was great. Now with all nutrient, we showed them the new buttery blonde toners.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um, we We also introduced them to Keratint, which is the demi-permanent line for All Nutrient, and then we actually hit them with three of you. I know you and me were both the same. Three of our favorite hairsprays by All Nutrient,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I'm going to do it in reverse order because as a hairdresser, you go, hairspray. Yeah, I know hairspray. But when we pulled people out of the crowd and
Yeah.
had them use the hairsprays on their own hair, then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, everybody wanted to, oh, wait, let me see that. Oh, wait, hold on. And with that one
Sure.
girl, the one lady came and we had someone else, and you had someone else do it, where we took her bangs, and I can't remember her name, and if she's watching, I'm sorry. But and we sprayed her bangs straight up. She looked like my date to prom in 1983. And
Ah,
but then all of a sudden everyone's like, wait, hold on. I've been looking for a hairspray that's got that kind of hold. Da, 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 da. It was so cool. It was so
yeah.
cool that we took something that we all take for granted, hairspray, and everybody all of a sudden got super interested in hairspray. It was dynamite. I just and we introduced them to three different products that could fulfill all their hair hold needs. What Carm outside? What were they saying after that?
Oh, they were like going by the table where there's the hairspray, and I saw some people like spraying their hair, and it was awesome. And like I saw the interaction from out there. Like I go from like pacing around, and then all of a sudden I see people. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on in there? And I saw the hair sticking out, and they're spraying, and there's little clouds. I'm like, wow, that was so interesting. But they loved it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
going and now going in reverse order, then we introduced them to the new toners, and we focused on the buttery blonde ones, since buttery blonde being a new trend, or at least for the
Huh.
next couple of weeks until something new comes out on TikTok, um, and
Oh,
and really with showing them a toner that is 100% oxidative.
Mhm.
There is no direct dyes in it. Um, they couldn't believe it, and we actually mixed it up in the bowl and
yeah.
passed it around, and they couldn't believe the spreadability of it. That was a lot of aha moments going on out there. And then when we actually touched on toning, and at least and our beliefs in toning, which you can take our toning class because we're not going to give you any secrets from it. Uh, I believe it's called Toning University, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
But
Is interviewing for the Home Shopping Network and QVC after this. So
Ah,
he is just practicing his sales pitches left and right today.
shameless plugs. Shameless plugs. Oh, there goes my phone.
Yeah, okay, there you go. There's your
he got
shameless
so
plug right there.
excited.
Hey,
Practice mode.
I did like you asked, because you get mad at me when I do it from the shop because I have the handy dandy color book with me.
Ah,
I
yeah,
don't
the
have the handy
books.
dandy color book at home. So
Ah,
plus, I am, after we are done here for the next 24 hours, I'm not thinking about hair. Okay.
mhm. Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I all nutrient is always a great interactive experience with people, and especially introducing people to the certified organic end of things, and just
Mhm.
the product line. And really, when we explain the dieloads that are in all nutrient, um, people are just go nuts. They can't believe it. We have those mannequins. We have these mannequin heads that we used.
Oh
Eddie and I
yeah.
used the toners on. We did
Yeah.
half and half, and Eddie and I did not touch these mannequins. We took the mannequins, we put
Mhm.
the toners on, and we didn't even shampoo them off. We rinsed them off, and then we just dried the mannequins. And to see
Mhm.
what that does on untreated mannequin hair, we did not do anything to it, and they just go, wow. And the way the hair feels afterwards,
Yeah.
huge, huge.
That was a lot of aha light bulbs going off moments. My
True.
favorite is the LC. When we mix that bowl of lightener and
I
then
was
we
just
put,
gonna say,
yeah, the LC is the lightener control. When we add that additive to our lightener and then we let that bowl sit there for 5-6 hours,
like all day.
it's sitting there all day, and every hour we keep coming back to it just
Mhm.
to follow up and see what is it doing now? What is it doing now? What is it doing now? And
Yep.
just to be able to see the crowd, the first time we mix it up, it's nice and fresh. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever. That looks nice.
I
By,
know.
by the first hour, they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. By the second hour, by the third hour, by the fourth hour, people are like, okay, come on. Like, come on. How?
Yeah.
How is it still working? And then by the fifth
Yeah.
hour, you got some people are like, okay, who the hell lets their bowl of lightener sit that long anyways? Like, this is just out of control now. Go rinse that thing out.
Right, right. So that, yeah, it was great. And then after that, oh, we forgot to add that in between Xenogen and All Nutrient, you did the low density haircut.
It just blows my
Oh
mind.
yeah.
I don't know why. I was taught structure and motion, which is a cutting technique to cut over your fingers. It's a valid hair cutting technique and approach that has been around for
Ever.
25, 30 years. I didn't invent this. I am not taking credit for it. Okay. I was taught it by Michael O'Rourke, who was the original inventor of the big sexy hair products. All the credit goes to him. And so I love that technique. It's a fun technique. It works very well, especially for somebody like myself who's scissor happy and needs a lot of control when I come to cutting, because otherwise I just like picking the hair up and going wild with it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic technique, but it just blows my mind every single time how everybody loses their mind going, why are you cutting over the hands like that? What does that do? What is that? How is that? How do you have any control? How is this? How is that? I'm like, oh, whoa, time out. I'll pull John. We have a shameless plug. We have a haircutting class coming up. We're gonna have to read that. We're gonna have to schedule, right after this.
Shameless plug.
No, I mean it's wild. It always blows my mind because I didn't invent this thing. I don't know why I'm the only one in the area that uses this technique. It's a fantastic haircutting technique.
And then we broke for lunch, and that was really when it was fun. Because Eddie and I stay in the room. Everybody goes, grabs their box of lunch. Some people came back in, and it truly was stylists in the break room. Everybody's eating, except the only difference is, everybody everybody was sitting down, where in the break room, if anybody's eating, they're standing up and shoveling in their face. But we sat down, everybody was eating, we're talking hair. It was like it's kind of like being in the back room, and we shared a lot of ideas, and it was fantastic, at least for me, because we had such a cross section of our industry, where we had people that worked in big salons, we had people that worked in mid-sized salons, and we had independents, and everybody was just sharing ideas, and there was none of this, oh, I come from this, so I'm better. Everybody was just, we were all on this, everybody's on the same level, and it was great. It really was great, and it was. I was listening to some of the conversations too, of people sharing business tips with each other and things like that.
Yeah.
How cool is that? I mean, like I said in the beginning, all egos went into people's back pockets, and everybody was just there to learn, and it was just a lot. It was a lot of fun. We had a great hour of lunch. You and I answered a lot of questions about anything and everything, and you were allowed to swear because it was lunchtime.
I don't know. I just remember during the lunch hour, Dom coming up to me saying Carmelina's hair is getting attacked. So I don't. What happened during the lunch hour to you?
Well, and someone gave you their apple, which made you very. Carm found you an apple, which made you
I
very
gave
happy.
Eddie an apple because I know he doesn't eat. I'm like, here, eat something. Did you drink some water? And then he did. And then people were liking my haircut and how you did my hair. And even the way you explained it in the class, like, oh, I like your hair, by the way. So that was so funny.
So then with that,
makes more sense.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then we came back from lunch, and that's really where we hit. I think that we hit the peak of the day. Was we started with hair extensions.
Yeah.
Eddie showed the zero trace technique,
Hmm.
which was created by our friend Sandy Donafy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sandy. Love to have
Mhm.
Sandy on the show. Sandy, if you're
I love
watching,
you.
we want you on the show. But
Yeah.
and we introduced them, and I love the way that you preface the difference between the K tip, and I'm not going to do this justice. So Eddie, you may have to step in. K tips versus bonds. Is that
Keratin bonds.
keratin bonds? That's it. Thank you.
Hmm.
Take it away, real quick. Two
Yeah,
sentences.
it's social media is making the two words synonymous: K-tips and keratin bonds. They are not the same thing. There's huge differences between the two. So you gotta be out there. You gotta pay attention. Don't get caught up in the buzzwords. Make sure what you're getting is what you're getting. The material is different between a K-tip and a keratin bond.
And I thought that's really when I saw a lot of light bulbs go on above heads. When you really got in depth with that with people, and once again, the keratin bonds and that end of hair extensions, I am a virtual rookie with.
You
So
want
I've
keratin bonds. If you're given the choice between keratin bonds and K-tips, keratin bonds 10 out of 10 every time, all day.
Yep.
That's what you want. Do not.
yeah.
You have the choice between the two. You do not want a K-tip. You want a keratin bond.
See,
Right.
I'm fortunate because of rubbing elbows with you and Bernard, that I've picked up a lot just through osmosis, just from being around you guys. A lot of this, because I would not, if I was sitting in the class, I would have been like, "Wow, I wouldn't have known that," you know. So that's great. And then
So
the
the thing with the hair extensions segment, Carmelina, was there anybody left sitting in the audience, or was it felt like
I
everybody
was
was.
just gonna say, I'm looking from the outside, and again, I'm pacing out there, and then I'm looking at, and I tell Dom, like, holy cow, look at, there's a crowd, and they're like putting them in, and they want to know, like, this and that, and they're like, wow, okay, because they were like blown away, like, that you could do like that. But yeah, everybody was like crowded around the like center stage. There was only maybe a handful of people sitting. That was wild.
It was wild. I felt mobbed. All of a sudden, because
Yeah,
I'm working on the hair, and then I look up to look out at the crowd, and the
like
crowd is right there, and
whoa.
I'm like, whoa, who's
Exactly. I
doing
was
over
like,
here? What
what's
is
going on in there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was yeah, and then that was the she part of it. Then we did a little we did a little mind break for them. We came. I did the butterfly haircut,
right.
for them, and then after some questions about the butterfly haircut, which if anybody's been in hairdressing as long as we have, the butterfly haircut is the Farrah Fawcett haircut. Um, so, but anyway, we put our own little twist on it. We had some fun with it, and then we came back with on stage hair extensions,
Yeah,
and we set up two mannequins, and we actually dragged two helpers, two people out of the crowd. It was Ruby and Tracy, right, Eddie?
Correct. And then
Yeah,
poor Ruby,
at
poor Tracy, they did such a great job, but
they
Yeah.
even
did.
they got kicked out of the way by everybody else. I think there wasn't anybody left in the audience sitting down anymore.
Right, there was another like mob of people like looking and doing, and they're like, "Wow, there's no sewing, there's no mustache hair." Like they were like, "What?" It was so funny.
I don't know what happened over by your mannequin head, John, but by mine, they started teaching each other. Like I was pushed out of the way.
That's so
That's
funny.
exactly what happened to me. That little girl, Ruby, I mean, she's a little girl. All of a sudden, I'm getting elbowed out of the way. She's like, I got this. And she's showing everybody how to do it. And I just showed her, I showed her two
Right.
O-tips. And then she's like, I got this. And I'm like, so I just kind of stepped back. I let her go.
Yeah,
It was
that's
great.
amazing.
I mean,
Wow.
and for on stage, we had everybody out of their seats, and we had two mannequin
Wow.
stands going. People were trying. It was so much fun. It really was. And then right after that, we went right into Therapy, where we had the stylist kits, which what were they, $49, Eddie?
They were on some kind of show
Yeah,
special.
yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know the price, and I shouldn't even be saying the
Right.
price because I'm probably wrong, and then people are going to be calling and going, yeah. But anyway,
They were on some incredible show special thing for the day. I don't know.
Yeah. There was a show special for the day, but even regular price for these stylist kits, you don't have to have the giant leader sitting around. You can get 2, maybe 3 applications out of them for one price, and in the end, you're going to end up making over $600 if you charge whatever you charge, right? So that was cool. Then we went into the blowout arsenal.
Man,
Oh.
that it really is one of the fun. Like there's a lot of highs and lows, and there's a lot of up moments. There's more up moments than down moments.
True.
But one of my favorite times is when you just start to see the light bulbs go off on people's heads.
Mhm.
You know, and when you're given choices and when you're given options and when you're explaining the science and the science starting to make sense, it is so satisfying. It is so freaking satisfying. It's awesome, you know. And the blowout arsenal, you got 3 different strengths, all using the same identical technique. You got, and then it's universally across the board. You can handle any type of hair. You got curly, coarse hair, that's daily smoothing cream. You need a little more movement. You got, you want more style. Literally, the name of the product is called Define, Shine, and Style Cream. You want a color, you want to lock in some color, you want an aftercare treatment spray to blow dry in. That's the Color Seal, the Color Seal leave-in. But these are all blow dry retail products. They're not treatments that you have to dedicate an hour behind the chair and do this labor intensive thing. These are standard retail products for everyday use. And it was awesome being able to show that off.
Yeah.
And then you got that square brush.
Oh yeah.
The square brush got the 2 black bands in it. So it shows as you heat it up properly, those bands should disappear. If the brush cools down properly, those bands reappear. Now you have total control over how much you need to manipulate the hair with heat and how long you have to wait for the hair to cool down from the heat. And there's a lot of things going on right now on social media about heat. Oh, you shouldn't overheat your hair. Heat is bad. Heat is this. Heat is that. Well, now you have a brush that can actually assist you and help you, because at the end of the day, without getting too deep into it right now, you need to blow dry your hair. Air drying is not the answer, it's the most detrimental thing you can do. You will hurt your hair in the long run. You will never win by letting your hair air dry. So now the whole game becomes, how do you blow dry your hair properly using heat to do it the right way and to help lock down that cuticle properly. Now you have a way. This brush helps you. And you got these
Mhm.
3 different levels of products to address any situation your hair is in. That blowout arsenal
Boom,
was freaking amazing.
boom. It
Yeah.
is. It's awesome. It's awesome. So, guys, that was a snapshot. It's just a snapshot of what we did, what we went through
The whole
yesterday.
day, yeah.
It was a, as you can see, a very busy day. There was a lot of subjects we covered. There was a lot in
Mhm.
between that we covered too. But
Mhm.
just to give you guys an idea of the education that comes from Here's the Bling, from me and Eddie, and then and then Eddie individually, he teaches hair extensions, things like that. So it was a great day by and by. I once again, I'm Carm. I can't say it enough. Thank you to you and Dom and everybody else that supports us.
Yeah.
So I've got motivation. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so-
Where the mind goes, the body will follow.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Where the mind goes, fucking killing me. I can't.
Okay, Hello Kitty. Why? Why is that dangerous? Why could that be dangerous?
That's for another day. Not appropriate.
Okay, never mind, Hello Kitty. What about you, Carmelina? What does that motivation mean? Why is that a good motivation?
No.
I'm gonna say it again.
Can you say it again? Her mind is gone. that mind went, but the body
See,
stayed.
The body's here.
where the mind goes, the body will follow. What that means to me is if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're not gonna. Bottom line, that is it in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's
Um,
very good. Mhm.
um,
She's like, yeah, okay,
I agree. That's true. If you say I can, then you can. If you
exactly.
the same thing. Hmm.
I'm gonna take case in point of I seem to remember someone before we started this earlier today going, I'm nervous. I don't think I can do this.
Wow.
I don't know. And then look, you thought you could do it, and here you are in between us two idiots. But where the
No.
where the mind goes, the body will follow.
Correct.
So, Carmelina,
Yeah.
I know you get nervous a lot
I know.
because if you've never done something before, then how do you know
You
how you're
don't
going
know what you don't know.
to know what you don't know? Exactly. So, what is an example of what you do in your mind to get yourself psyched up so you can attempt to do something that you haven't done before and you're not sure how to do it? What is
I
that process, what you think about?
I have to tell myself instead of being so nervous and like, oh my God, I'm gonna scream. I just have to tell myself, okay, just try it, just go with it. And if you did great, you did. If you didn't, at least you tried it and you still did great. So I guess you're still winning. And then here I am. I was just like, wow.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So as we end our SFTB
All right,
podcast.
John's checked out, Carmelina. Take us home.
Well, before we take you home, and in the middle of the break and all that, then we have Dom. He's like he's like our human garbage disposal in the family. He's always saying, "I'm hungry." So you got that going on among all the cool, crazy shows.
Holy crap.
Thank you for everybody for watching the SFTB podcast. Have a great day, guys.
If you guys like what we do, please visit our website at htbbeauty.com. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And we hope that you make a difference one client at a time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.